Hi guys, buckle up because today we're going to talk about the most thrilling part of starting a photography business, taxes. Just kidding, it's not that thrilling, but we're going to have fun with it. There are two types of taxes. There's income tax and sales tax. I'm actually going to walk you through by sharing my screen with you, paying my taxes for my sales tax. So every state is different and you do need to pay sales tax. For North Carolina, I have to pay it monthly. So I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see me pay that physically. And then income tax, I'm going to share with you a sheet that I use to keep track of my expenses. And I'm going to teach you different ways to minimize your expenses for your taxes. So. All right, guys. Hi. Before I show you how to pay your taxes, I want to give a couple things that you need before you do this. So the first thing is you need to go to figure out how to pay taxes in your state. So some states it's through the Department of Revenue. Some of them it's the Secretary of State. For me in North Carolina, it's the Department of Revenue. So it's called NCDOR. And so look for your state, what you need to go to pay your taxes every month. And then another thing that you're going to need before you can pay any taxes is if you're a sole proprietor, you're going to need your social security number. And then if you're a LLC, you're going to need your EIN number, which I've already showed you how to get. And then the last thing you'll need is how much you made that month. And so I'm going to walk you through paying my taxes for this month. Keep in mind that I already have an account, and so you just need to make sure you set that up for your first time when you become a photographer. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is Google NCDOR sales and use tax, and it shows up right here. Okay, so then you're going to go to File, Pay Sales and Use Tax. And then, like I said, I already have an account, so I'm just going to put in all my information here. Already saved. Sweet. Next. And it'll give you an account number. Just save that somewhere. So then after this, you just hit next. All right, and then I am, let's see here, I am paying the full amount online right here. Okay. Perfect. Okay, and then I'm filing for January and 2022. There we go. And then, like I said, you need either your EIN or social number, so I'm going to blur this for you. Say it out loud. There we go. Okay, y'all, so once you get to this page, you are going to put in how much you made that month. I'm using a hypothetical number. I'm going to use 1,000 because I'm going to fill in my own information here just for privacy reasons. So you're going to want to type in 1,000 up here where North Carolina gross is, whatever your state is. You're also going to want to type it in here at general state rate to give you a number right here. And you're going to want to make sure you keep that number, and then wherever your county rate is. So my county does 2.25%, and you can look up your county to make sure that you always fill it in correctly for how much you should be paying, and it gives you that number right here. I always just write it down just for me to be able to have those numbers, and then it tells you your total here at the bottom. But I keep my county one handy, and I write it down, and I'll show you why in a second. All right, so whatever number you wrote down for your county, you're going to need that number again, and you're going to find, okay, was it 2? Was it 2.25? Was it 0.50? And then you are going to fill in that number where your county shows up. And I'm going to pause the video again, put in my own, and then come right back. All right, so now once you're on this screen, it's just asking you to select a payment method, and then you go ahead and put in your payment. I'm going to use credit debit card. Whoop. And then you're going to go ahead and fill in your information there, and then process it. All right, y'all, we did it. The last thing that you have to do is just scroll to the bottom, hit submit, and woo, we legal. We paid our taxes. Yeah. After this video, the next part, the second part of this video, I'm going to go over my client tracker and my expense sheet, all of that good stuff, so that you can see how I track everything. But yeah, good job, guys. Hey y'all. Okay, so next thing, I love this because I'm at work. If you're like me, I like being organized. So this is the client tracker. I'm going to walk you through exactly what I do, and I'm going to give you this sheet so that you can use the same setup. This is easy for me to use because I keep it as simple as I can. This helps me with keeping me organized and also tracking my income every month and my mileage for every client. And so this is kind of in hopes that you're going to have lots of clients, and which you will after this course. You got it. And then I'm going to walk you through. So we're going to make some hypothetical names up here. So I'm going to go with Jill Smith. Oh, bless. I'm not typing well today. I'm sure y'all have days like that. All right, we're going to type in a random number here. And then type of session. Let's say Jill's having a baby. We're going to do a maternity session. And then email. abcde@gmail.com. All right. And then follow-up call. So what this is I always schedule a date about a week before the actual session where I do a follow-up call or text and I say, hey, all right, are we set on location? How are we feeling about outfits? I personally provide a client wardrobe, but maybe you are just checking to help them with like coordinating their outfits because a lot of people want the advice of an expert of like what looks good together. So always schedule a date about a week before the session. So let's say that I'm doing their session on January 2022. I'm going to schedule for January 1st, and then I'm going to type in the 7th is their date of their actual session, so it's about a week before. And then location, you can put TBD, you could put studio, outside, field, like forest, wherever it is that you're doing it. Now, contract, I highly recommend, which will be a whole nother video, but having them sign the contract before you ever meet. And so I always check this the day before every shoot to see have they signed the contract yet, and if they haven't, I remind them because I will not meet up with any clients unless that has been signed. So we're going to say, yes, Jill is responsible and Jill signed that contract. Deposit. For me, I require a percentage of whatever the session is. So most of the time it's like $50 for me. And so I require a deposit just to hold that date and so that they're committed. They've already invested money in it and now they're going to commit because people tend to want to cancel last second. So this is a good way to be like, all right, they did pay the deposit. Type of payment. So you're going to want to put in there, did they Venmo me? Did they pay cash? Did they pay Square? How did they pay you? So make sure you write in there. I use Square for most of my payments. And then did they actually pay that deposit? You want to put it in there. And how much was the total session? So let's say we made $350 that session. And then was your gallery, this is for me, I highlight once I've delivered the gallery. So you can say, did I deliver the gallery yet? Yes. And then your mileage. This is huge for taxes. So make sure you are tracking your miles. How I do it is I type in wherever the location is. I track how many miles it was, double it because your mileage is for there and back. And so let's say I traveled 25 miles for this session, which is kind of hard, but yeah, sometimes they've been longer. So this is the client tracker. The next thing I'm going to show you is what can you keep track of for your expenses. This is huge for taxes, and I'm giving you access to this document so that you can have this here and track exactly what you put into your business. So advertising and marketing, this is like business cards, Facebook boosted ads, Instagram ads, etc. All of these are deductible. This class is deductible. This education course, any kind of education mentorship, any of that, tax deductible. Make sure you record it somewhere that I personally just do an Excel sheet of all my expenses and put it in there. Employee benefit programs. If you're fully self-employed, this could be your healthcare, IRA, other programs. Insurance. So I highly recommend having insurance, whatever extra cost that is. Equipment. This is obviously huge. Any camera lens, a bag, your shoot props that you buy for newborns or maternity. If you have a client wardrobe, you want to track that. This includes mouse, computer, keyboard, anything that you use to run your business, even your phone. You are going to want to track that. All right, y'all. So I know that you can go through this and read it. This is just important for what you're tracking in your expenses. The one thing that I want to emphasize is if you use a office space in your home, that is also deductible. Or if you use a space for like a studio, you want to make sure that you are including that in your deductions. And then the big thing is mileage, y'all. It is, you get 56 cents per mile that you use. I traveled over 5,000 miles this past year for photo shoots, and I made $3,000 back in taxes just on mileage. So make sure you are tracking your miles. I can't emphasize it enough. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to show you here is my expense tracker. This is what I actually use to be able to track, and I made an example sheet for you so you can literally use the sheet for yourself of sales tax, mileage, equipment, everything, so that you are tracking the amount. So if it was $28, if it was $48, whatever it might be, or 28 miles, sorry, here you go. So this is an example. Try not to put miles because it's actually easier to track it with just the number in Excel of 28, 42, 41, and then you can just say that's miles. And then like software, I have it broken up with education, marketing, networking, meals. That's like if I had Jill as a client and I went to lunch with Jill, I'm going to record that because any meals that you pay for, that is an expense that you can deduct. So they're actually 50% deductible, which is huge. So they half of whatever that meal was, you can deduct. And then make sure you include all of this good stuff. Telephone, internet, definitely, because we all know those are expensive bills. But anyway, I hope these documents are helpful. I created these. These are what I actually use. It's simple, and I like to keep it simple so that it's easy to track everything. But track everything. Make sure you were staying legal and like paying your taxes. And I hope this helped. I hope it made it easier for you to be able to have these documents, know what you're doing, and how to pay your taxes, y'all.